Okay, here we are today. We're doing an investigation of paranormal activity in this area.
And also history.
And history. So on May the 5th, 1947, a chartered train going from Ferny Grove Station to Camp Mountain Station was going along this railway track, which is now Bitumen Road, and the driver was in this railway track, which is now Bitumen Road, and the driver was inexperienced for the terrain and the railway line, and as he was going around a corner, he was taking it above the recommended speed limit for the train, and the first two characters crashed into a water tank, killing 15 people on the day, and the driver himself died the next day. There were also 38 people injured in total. Now, the railway track got pulled up 6 years after, and this railway track was first built in the year of 1917 and survived until 1953. It used to transport bananas, cattle, mainly through this railway line. So we're going to now take you on a walk along the railway track to the site of the accident as we go along.
Okay, hi to everyone who have just joined this live stream. We're over here at the site of Queensland's largest train disaster, which occurred in 1947. This is a plaque here. Now we're going to look for the actual site of the crash. So whoever has just joined, this is a live stream from Queensland, Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. We're showing where Queensland's largest train disaster that occurred in 1947, where 15 to 16 people died and 30 plus were injured, including children. And supposedly that it's also a haunted area. People have heard the train. So I'm just showing you the surroundings. And hi to everyone who have just joined. Hi to everyone. So if you just joined, please click the follow button and you'll be updated on our latest live streams. Yep. And you'll be updated on our latest live streams. Yep. So we're going to go for a walk now. So this is a plaque over here which shows the history of this train smash that occurred in 1947. So I'll just read a little bit of it. On Labor Day morning, 5th of May 1947, Customs Department staff and their families left Brisbane Central Railway Station for a holiday picnic at Closeburn. After short stops at Mitchelton and Ferny Grove stations, the 7-carriage train began the slow climb over Camp Mountain Knob. Downhill from the knob, the train gathered speed and started to sway alarmingly. Heading into a left-hand curve 20 miles per hour too fast, the locomotive tender overturned, pulling the locomotive off the track and into an embankment. The first two carriages telescoped into the overturned locomotive. In Queensland's worst train crash, 16 travellers died, including the driver and fireman, and over 30 were injured. Okay, so now we're going to walk up. It's about more than 500 metres.
Oh, more than that.
More than that.
Probably a good kilometre and a half.
And we'll show the actual crash site.
Roughly a mile for American friends.
Okay, so everyone who's joining right now, please let us know where you're from in the world. We're always interested to know where you're all from in the world. In future live streams. We really love going to places, but we're only limited to our our budget at the moment, so we just do our vicinity, our area where we sort of live. We can't go further than that at this stage. But yeah, so at the moment, if you've just joined, we're at Camp Mountain in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And I was just showing before, there's a little information board here, a plaque, which mentions the Camp Mountain Railway disaster of 1947. Hi to everyone. If you're local from Brisbane and you know of this place, this is Camp Mountain. And everybody around the world, this is Queensland's, the state of Queensland's worst train disaster, which occurred on the 5th of May of 1947. So it was called a picnic train, so it was called a picnic train, and the train crash killed 16 people and injured 30 plus people, including children at the time. Very sad.
Now the
Hi to PJ, I think. Oz, how are you? Okay, so
we're in the D'Aguilar State Forest.
Hi Dolphin. We've got things. They've heard a steam train, and at the time, 1947, it was actually Queensland's worst train disaster, which occurred on the 5th of May 1947. Hi to Trey. We've got, please, if you've just joined, please click the follow button and you'll get future updates on the next live stream. So we're going to walk down this track. This is a bike track, so we've got to watch out for cyclists. I can pause it for a little while too.
Oh no, that's fine.
So we'll just, we'll keep going.
So we'll
hopefully,
keep walking.
Yeah, hopefully you're picking up on this live stream. I've heard from people.
I'll be on the lookout. This is a very popular cycling track.
Yeah, so we don't want to film the cyclists.
We have to be wary for cyclists coming at great speed around the corner.
And we can't even hear them.
Which is ironic because this was the cause of the railway accident, great speed.
Yeah.
So we're going along. This is absolutely beautiful and stunning. A lot of natural Australian bushland here in the D'Aguilar National Park. For those that have just joined and haven't heard us yet, we're heading towards.
Oh, hi.
We're heading towards the railway disaster of May the 5th, 1947.
Yeah.
That killed a total of 16 people and injured 38 people.
We've got friendly people that go by with their cycles, cycling away, and they say hello. They're very friendly over here. This is in the Sanford area.
I believe there is paranormal activity in the area, and urban legend refers to the ghost train.
The ghost train, as they call it.
Which is the original train that crashed.
Yeah.
Believing that some people can actually hear a train.
This is a track we're on. This is a cycling track. So
as we were coming for, I heard a very strange sound. We think it may have been a plane, but it sounded quite weird.
Yeah, it did sound like an old freight train.
It was quite bizarre.
Yeah, it's very eerie when you walk through. Imagine walking through here at night time. And apparently not far from here, there's a bat cave. So there's also a cave, a tunnel that was built for the trains. I think the historian here will talk about the train tunnel.
Yeah, so along this line there is a tunnel through the mountain. And after they pulled up the railway track, the bats felt very comfortable to use this tunnel as a bat cave.
Yes, So
now it's a research site for scientists into bats, since there are so many.
Yes,
I can assure you
huge bat colony over here.
I can assure you that.
Hi to everyone who've just joined.
given the right time of year, you can sometimes see hundreds of thousands of bats flying over near dusk.
Yeah, pretty spooky.
Towards this area.
Hi to everyone who's just joined. Please click the follow button and you'll get updates on our next live stream. It's saying lost connection, sorry. We're off the grid here, so hopefully let us know if you're losing, if it's sort of, what's the word when it's sort of the live stream halts for a little while.
Yeah. So persist with us. We are really off grid here.
We're off grid, so we're going to show you the actual location of the crash site of 1947. It's quite spooky around there. People have gone there in the evening or dusk, even during the day, and have actually heard an old freight train going through. So yeah, that could be very eerie. So many people died at the time. Of course, this is not Australia's worst train disaster. Australia's worst train disaster was in Sydney, Granville. Is that where Sydney?
Outside of Sydney.
Outside of Sydney, Granville train disaster. But this is Queensland's worst train disaster ever to this day. 1947 it occurred. It was called the picnic train. Families, little children were on this train, and the driver, I'll let my partner know, tell you the history behind the driver and what occurred that day.
So the Customs Department hired a train for the 3 trains for the day. They were off on the picnic site from the centre of Brisbane to Closeburn for a family picnic. They left Furner Grove Station on the way to Camp Mountain Station. Just before they got to Camp Mountain Station, the train driver, trying to make up time, was clocked at, they believe was going at 20 miles per hour above the recommended speed limit.
Going around a bend.
Going downhill around a bend.
Can you imagine what
and
happened?
The train derailed, forcing the front 2 carriages into a water tank nearby. 16 people died, including 3 children, and 38 people were injured. The railway line survived another 6 years after the train disaster.
So if you've just joined, we're heading towards the actual train crash site of 1947. Can you hear the cicadas? I would say there's cicadas, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Labor Day, 5th of May 1947, public holiday.
Yeah.
The Customs Department hired a train for their families to be going to
Hi to everyone.
A local picnic.
Is this about a ghost haunting? That's correct. Yes, apparently there's been hauntings around this area.
Of the ghost train.
Of the ghost train. So people have either seen apparitions and heard the actual freight train come through. So we're heading towards the actual crash site. We're leaving that plaque that we just showed you before, which is an information board talking about the actual train disaster of 1947, Labor Day in Australia. So that was Queensland's worst train disaster. Not Australia's worst train disaster. This is Queensland's worst train disaster ever. So it's got a lot of history around this site. There's also a bat cave, which is pretty spooky at night. People have gone to.
We were following.
We might do a live stream